Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Well, I would like to give credit where credit is due. This picture was photoshopped, obviously, where the Queen is standing was Harry and Meghan, but this came off of Pinterest, and I don't know who did it, but whoever did it did a great job. I think this looks absolutely fabulous. This is what it should have been in the first place. All right, in today's video, we have some news about William. We have some news about Andrew. We have some news about Katherine, and of course, Harry and Meghan. So there's a lot to cover. Let's just jump in with both feet and get there, shall we? Let's go. To start off this morning, we're starting with the news that for the very first time, the Duke of Cambridge William is going to appear alone on money. It's a £5 note or coin, and it's going to be unveiled right before his 40th birthday. Congratulations, William. And by the way, I happen to think that that's an excellent likeness of him. All right, let's move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we all know what went on with Andrew. He was accused. They put out a statement saying he won't be doing any public duties. He's defending himself as a private citizen. And then almost immediately it was announced that, he settled the case so that it wouldn't overshadow the Platinum Jubilee. Now, it was told he was stepping away from royal duties, so it was just announced that he will be attending the Order of the Garter ceremony on June 13th, along with the Queen and senior members of the royal family and former Prime Minister. And the palace is saying that Andrew has been appointed in person to the Order of the Garter by the Queen. So apparently the Queen has no intention of banishing Andrew from royal life forever. Now, for those of you who don't know this, and I had to look it up myself, the Order of the Garter is the most senior British order of chivalry. It only has 24 members at a time, and being invited to join is the ultimate sign of respect for the establishment. I mean, it looks to me like the Queen is trying to save his position as much as she can before she passes away. But let's be honest, once she's gone, Andrew is absolutely going to be out. Charles is never going to allow that. All right, moving on. This next topic I'm barely just going to touch on. They had Harry's memoir ready to come out at a certain time, and now they don't know when it's coming out. Nobody's talking. I think it's delayed so that they can add stuff from the Platinum Jubilee. They won't confirm whether it's still coming this year, a publication date, nothing. And everybody's like, I wonder why that's happening. Yeah, we know why that's happening, because there's going to be stuff added to it after the Platinum Jubilee. That's why that's happening. All right, let's move on. All right, next up, we already know this, but let's just put it out there anyway. Harry and Meghan are starting to have money difficulties. That's very obvious. When you live like they live with a $40,000 mortgage, and I think it came out once, I figured it up a while ago, it came out they needed $80,000, $90,000 a month to pay the power and the water and all the staff and security. And when you owe that much money and you have a lifestyle like that, you need more and more and more money. And the money's starting to run short because, believe it or not, Spotify and Netflix are not going to continue to just hand the money since there's no content coming. So yes, I'm sure they are starting to have severe money issues. And I honestly and truly believe they thought, because of who they are, they were such a power couple, she was going to get freebies for clothes. Like Victoria Beckham told her no on that they were going to get free this and free that and free flights on friends' private jets and free everything. And it's wearing off. It's just not working out that way. All right, let's move on. All right, we've seen this dress on Katherine, and what we noticed is that it was beautifully tailored to Katherine. It fit her like a glove. Well, do you remember when another certain person said this about tailoring?
And it's so tailored, right? You're really able to see the beauty of structure and also the value of tailoring.
Well, I find it interesting that somebody who's always talking about structure and tailoring never seems to have clothes that fit her correctly. But I digress. What we're looking at is Katherine's dress. Yes, this is the dress from the Top Gun premiere. Initially, it had this huge zipper going down the back, and it had a sheer back, and Katherine had all that changed, and then, of course, she had it fixed to fit her figure. And we've all seen this hot mess, this huge zipper going down the back of the dress, which was way too tight and it was bunching up everywhere on her. Again, not tailored, and the zipper looked terrible. Here's a closer up photo to see what to show what I'm saying. Could you imagine how much better this would have looked if the zipper had been hidden like in Katherine's dress? Now here's the really cool part, just to show you who's got really good taste. Queen Maxima stepped out in the same thing, but she had hers as a pantsuit instead of a dress. But other than that, it was identical. They both looked absolutely fabulous in it. Yeah, they looked wonderful. All right, moving on. We're going to touch on this topic super quick because we covered it yesterday about the staff at Archewell that keeps flipping. Yes, they keep losing staff. They did it in the UK and they're doing it here. And I think these people aren't speaking out because I think they were forced to sign NDAs. But obviously working for them ain't all that in a bag of chips. And for those of you who are keeping count, that makes 12 staff members that they have cycled through in 3 years. That is a lot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember the Polo event and the people who were putting up pictures were told to pull their stuff down? Well, it occurred, and of course, video and pictures, and this was all done for Netflix, I'm sure, made their way onto the internet. Oh my God. And of course, Meghan, who has nothing of her own, latched on to the Polo event. Now it's not Harry, now it's her and Harry. And they've taken over this whole thing. And the pictures and video came out and they are hilarious. So let's just look, shall we? Now, I believe I've told you guys before that they're playing at the same polo club where William and Katherine were. And as you can see on the website, in their photo gallery, there's pictures of William and Katherine. There's none of Harry and Meghan, but there's pictures of William and Katherine from 2011. So they went to play. Game was over, and the players go by each other, shaking each other's hands and congratulating. And Meghan's standing there in the middle of it. I'm like, what are you doing? And then notice she's got a grip on Harry's hand the whole time. She's not letting go of his hand. Then, of course, she took the obligatory look at me with a child photos. Notice her children were once again nowhere to be found. So they head up for the trophy, and of course, Meghan gives Harry a kiss. That's what William and Katherine always did. And then after she kisses him, she starts wiping his mouth like, my lipstick is on you. And look at Harry's face. Like, seriously. Look how mad he looks. She's like, come here, son. Let me wipe your mouth. And to be fair, I don't see any lipstick on his mouth. I think this was all done for show. So they line up to get photos. And once again, look at Harry's face. He looks livid. I mean, I'm guessing he's not allowed to do anything without her. Maybe it's starting to sink in. So anyway, they're standing there, and then they go to pick up the trophy. You know how they do. They hold the trophy up. Classic. They end up blocking Meghan's face with the trophy. So, of course, she tries to squeeze in underneath. Here's a video. Watch this. Now, also pay attention before you look at this video at the face of the first guy as Meghan's walking up the steps. He's looking at her like, what are you doing? Okay, now watch this. So Meghan gets on the stage and she starts handing these boxes to the players. And she gives each player a little congratulatory kiss, on each cheek. She tried to turn this into like a royal event. Then she gets to Harry and she gives him a kiss. Almost immediately, she's like, wait, look at me, Harry. Give me attention, Harry. Let me wipe the lipstick off. And then they start standing there for pictures. So then they push Meghan over into the middle for the photos. This is where it starts to get really good. Okay, so she's not sure what to do. So one of the first things she does is tries to take the box back from the guy that's standing on her right. And the guy's like, no, don't take my box. Then they decide to hold up the trophy. They end up blocking Meghan. So she's like, wait a minute, I'm under here. Wait. And so she ducks under so that she can be seen. I mean, really, you just couldn't make this any better. Well, I guess my point, ladies and gentlemen, is she has nothing of her own. She has nothing of her own. And so she's going to muscle in now on Harry's stuff. There you go. Now, a couple things I just want to point out before I end this video. Number one, you can see Katherine in this absolutely gorgeous outfit that she wore to a match. And there's Meghan walking with somebody. Notice any resemblance in the outfits? I also want to point out that Harry's teammates don't look extremely happy at all to be next to Meghan. I think they're all wondering the same thing. What is she doing up here? What the hell is happening? Take a look at this guy's face in this clip. Watch this. Now, I want to point something out in the video also, just in case you missed it. Literally, after Meghan kissed him, Harry pushes her out of the way. And like I told you before, I don't think he really had lipstick on his face. I think she did that for show because he didn't look happy then either. But watch this. And I would like to thank Tam, just call me Tam, for the picture you're looking at, because this is absolutely correct. This is how it's done. Look at the difference in how happy the players are and the way this is being handled. I'm telling you, this is for Netflix content, and I think it's going to suck. So here is a few other weird moments that I've noticed. In this series of photos, what I think is happening is the award ceremony is over. Meghan's probably like, okay, Harry, we got to go, Harry. Stop talking, Harry. So she takes his hand, as she usually does, and she's leading him off the stage. Look at his face. He's just like, really? Like he's a small child. She's leading him down off the stage to get him away from everybody else. Now, I could be wrong, but it looks like the guy in the blue shirt is trying to talk to Harry. Well, it looks in this picture like he's still trying to talk to Harry, and Meghan's just walking and dragging Harry along behind her. I mean, how weird. Well, in my opinion, she's hanging on to Harry because if you look at these pictures, it doesn't look like anybody was really talking to her. It looks like she was pretty much on her own the whole day, but we know she doesn't really have much in the way of friends. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that this was supposed to be a royal event. She's trying to do a royal event. But here's the one thing that really creeped me out. It pointed out that when she kissed Harry, it was a vibe from Diana and Charles. Oh my God. Seriously, you guys? They're saying that they're vibing like Charles and Diana? That is so creepy. Now, you guys should also know that Rebel Wilson was there. Now, we all know she has a new movie coming out on Netflix called Senior Year that she needed to promote, but she was allowed to take private photos with Harry. How weird is that, right? And on top of that, apparently the pictures on Instagram created such a problem that they had to make them private. You're not allowed to comment because the comments got really nasty. So you know I want your comments. What do you guys think about William getting a 5-pound coin minted with his face only on it? I think that's so cool. I love it. What do you think about Andrew still pulling royal duty? That's one. What do you guys think about the fact that Archewell has gone through 12 employees in 3 years? They can't seem to stay longer than a year. And what do you think about the Polo spectacle where Harry and Meghan basically tried to make it into a royal thing, even though it wasn't even their event, and Meghan's muscling in on all of Harry's stuff because she's got nothing of her own? Don't forget to leave those comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. And if you've already hit it, double check to make sure that you are still subscribed. Don't forget you can follow me on Getter, you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Rumble, you can email me. To those who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.